Good morning, Metro Nui! Welcome back to another episode of the Barraki Talk Show. We're your hosts, the Mielik brothers,
Jacob,
Samuel,
Thomas, and we're glad you're joining us today as we talk our way through the weird and wondrous world of Bionicle. But first, coming up on the Barraki Talk Show.
at the beginning of the book, he's like, slavery is good. And then at the end of the book, he's like, discrimination, not okay.
It was non-discriminatory slavery. There's grand to everyone. Lego, hear me now. I am officially taking control of Kalma the character. Except he's called Kalma, so he's legally distinct. Like, imagine you get teleported like the depths of the sea, mutagenic water with giant venom eels. You're like, those six toe are gonna find me. I just know it.
And the funny thing is, he's not wrong.
I know, he's not
wrong, yeah.
All that and more coming up on the Barraki Talk Show.
In the first book of the Mahri arc, the tone shifts, the villains shift, and the heroes change. But will the quality of storytelling stay the same? That's what we'll find out on today's episode of the Barraki Talk Show.
Splice the other one in.
We're a very low-powered Barraki Talk Show today.
That was the acoustic version.
Taylor's version?
Yeah.
Pardak's version.
So, we're going into book 6 of the Legends. Is this the Legends?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Legends.
Legends.
Of the Legends series. And this is the first of the Mahri book. So it follows, strangely enough, the conventions of the Voyanui arc in that the Toa basically are not in this book, and it's just about the Matoran and the Barraki. However, I think it actually works really well, and it sets a nice tone and atmosphere, which we'll get into when we've completed the book, but it'll be in my overall thoughts, so keep a lookout for that. It'll be at the end. Ooh, no, we'll put it in the middle just to throw people off guard. You'll never know where the thoughts will be. Okay, so how this book starts is in the prologue. Ooh, spooky.
Really?
The prologue.
Yeah. And the prologue
I thought it was
starts...
in the post-log.
Oh, the post-log. Me after I get out of the bathroom, yeah, I'm post-log.
Get out.
He did. He
Oh,
got
the
it.
You're trash.
Anyway, so the prologue starts 80,000 years ago, and it starts with Prydak is looking over his army, and it's full of a random assortment of species, including, interestingly enough, a significant amount of Matoran.
Huh.
I'm like, you don't really think of Matoran as being part of an army, because they're terrible at fighting.
And there's only 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's only in Metro
Only
Nui,
in
never
Metro
mind.
Nui, supposedly. Or thousands, if you go with later statements. He also has, like, a lot of Rahi, who, like, riding beasts, essentially taking the place of horses or battle beasts, which I thought was a cool touch. It's also another interesting fact about his army, because the way it's comprised definitely sets a weird tone, because you never really see non-homogeneous armies in Bionicle. And these guys, it definitely gets the feeling of Warlord, where they just assembled a bunch of people who are violent and rowdy and like to like destroy into essentially a mob or a horde. It's not like an organized, cohesive, modern military, which is interesting. But I'm like, that's how it would work in a tribal archipelago society.
It's
However,
the difference between the wild men and the Urukai.
yeah, pretty much actually. There's no white hand of Prydak on. That would be cool, though.
Cool imagery.
Yeah, and that imagery is kind of in this because Prydak is looking over his army, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to conquer the world because as soon as the other Barraki join me, we'll own the entire known universe. And then he goes on like a 2-paragraph long diatribe where he's like, look at all these flawed specimens, not like me, who is the perfect pinnacle of physical perfection. All others are beneath. He's the clutch powers of Bionicle.
I was going to say, if you were going to say.
Clutch Powers references, anybody?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a reference to a video
about
talking about clutch powers.
Yeah. Prydak is sad because the others cannot achieve the pinnacle of Bionicle perfection that he has already surpassed. Diamond Bolt, if you're listening to this, shout out.
That's why Prydak is the best, and I'm not biased at all.
Yeah. So, while he's thinking about this, he notices a Matoran is slacking. He's like, ooh, that Matoran, not good. They're hanging around doing squat. So he goes over to their commander and he's like, make them order them to their deaths. And the commander's like, okay. He's like, and then kill yourself. And the commander's like, what?
Dang.
And Prydek is like, look, you got 2 options here. 1, you kill yourself. Or 2, I kill you in a horribly gruesome way. It's up to you, really. So then the commander orders the Matoran to die, and then presumably goes and kills himself.
Why does he do this?
Because he's evil.
Oh.
Why does Prydek do that?
Yeah.
Or why does the
Why
commander...
does Prydek do it?
Is the commander a Matoran?
No.
He's just a commander.
Yeah. He was a dude. I don't remember
Why
what
does
species.
your note say because death by Prussia army?
That auto-corrected Prydek.
Okay.
He's gonna go fight the
Is this
Prussians.
a niche reference or something?
That's
I was like,
crazy.
this is a common thing in the Prussian army.
The Eastern Front. That's how the commander committed suicide. He went to go fight the Russians, the Prussians. Imagine he's just walking around, then like 20,000 winged hussars come out and just annihilate him. Oh, that would be funny. Anyway, then later on, Prydek goes and meets with the other Barraki who have all gathered, and they're like, okay, here's our scheme to take over Markjuly, because that's one of the last major strongholds, right, for the Great Spirit, essentially. However, before they get too far in their scheming, they hear a bunch of trumpets, and they see on the horizon a bunch of banners go up. The banners of the Brotherhood of Makuta.
They're cooked.
Yeah. And so they're staring at it, and all of them have the same thought. They're like, uh-oh, this is really bad. And the Brotherhood armies are composed of tens of thousands of well-disciplined soldiers, including hundreds of Toa, Exo-Toa, Rakshi, and Rahi. What are you gonna do against that? You are toast.
Maybe you could try just ordering them to kill themselves, because that clearly seems to be working well.
He's like, if only I had 2 lazy Matoran and 1 commander, I could have turned this thing around. No, but it says that the Barraki try their hardest and use their tactical acumen, and they go and rally the troops, but they only last until nighttime, and then they complete loss.
Yeah,
They've been
because their
entirely
troops
decimated.
are a bunch of Matoran.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you
What
should have
do
thought
they
about beefing up
expect was gonna
your...
happen?
Yeah. At least put like more of your own species in your army or something.
We need like 800 Krekas.
Yeah. And it says like there's just... Imagine it kind of like Battle of the 5 Armies almost, where there's just massive Rahi just plowing into ranks of guys, and just like Toa doing crazy elemental effects, presumably. And it never mentions that any Makuta themselves actually take to the field. So I'm like, if 100 Makuta came out and just started going ham, it would have been like 5 seconds.
I imagine Makuta like sitting on like a chase lounge, like Jabba the Hutt, just like smoking or something while he's watching the whole battle happen. He's watching Toa just get like brutally massacred by Matoran.
He's
and
like,
watching,
Yowanawanga.
a Tatorok like sit on like 10 Matoran and like, you know.
I know, I'm just imagining now, like, the Makuta are like, okay, we're preparing for this invasion. Like, let me cook up a few Tatorok really quick.
Right.
And then they throw in some stuff and like, poof, Tatorok. It's like, what?
There's just like a Kanohi dragon there. It's just murdering
Yeah.
everybody.
They're like, hey, can I get 2 Zivons over here? Yeah, Zivon's coming up on a platter.
I also like to imagine that every time a Toa dies, the Makuta just secretly celebrate.
Well, they're not evil at this point. The Brotherhood is good at this point.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. And that will be important because the Barraki lose quickly and they're captured. And so now Pterodax is like, okay, you guys are trying to overthrow the Great Spirit. We're here to prevent that. And so you guys are going to all die because that's the punishment. And the Barraki, for their part, they aren't cowed. And they're like, we can do it anyway. We were this close. We were about to overthrow God, right? But they're very blasphemous in what they do. So Makuta's Pterodax is like, yeah, I'm just going to kill him. But it's also revealed here that Prydek used to work for the Brotherhood of Makuta, which is also interesting. And they've all heard about Pterodax, obviously. So when he does show up, they're still defiant, but they're like, we're toast. There's nothing we can do, right? So before Makuta can execute them, Botar shows up. He just appears.
As he does.
As he does. And Makuta's like, what? No, what are you doing? And then he puts like energy chains around all the Barraki. And he's like, I'm taking these to condemn them forever. And Makuta's like, what? No, this is my job. And that's where Botar does where there are wrongs, I have rights. And so Pterodax is about to go fight him, and then Botar just teleports away with all the Barraki. And he's like, what?
You know how in Harry Potter in the books, they describe apparating as people just like appearing? Like there's like no...
Mm-hmm. That's how I imagine Botar.
That's how I always imagine Botar. Like one
Just
second he's not there, and the next second
out.
he's just there.
Yeah.
Like there's no like nothing to it.
And that's pretty much how it's treated in story. Like there's no visual cues that anyone picks up on. He's just there, and then he's gone. And so Makuta is very... he's mad at this because he's like, what the heck? I would be mad too, honestly. I'm also like, yeah, kill those guys.
I like how Makuta doesn't even try to fight Botar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's like going to fight, but like Botar doesn't care. Like Makuta can't stop him. Yeah. And so the Barraki armies are then disbanded, and it does note that some of them are taken as slaves by the Brotherhood of Makuta, which is strange because the Brotherhood of Makuta is supposed to actually be an altruistic and good force in the universe at this time. So this means that Bionicles think slavery is good. Curious. What do you mean by this, Craig? And
they're all Confederates.
And since this is so early in the timeline, though, it doesn't mention that the Toa don't kill, and they were in part of an army and a large-scale assault. So I'm like, I don't know if the Toa code was in full effect, or at the very least in the refined version that we see it later on. So maybe they were allowed to kill.
I don't think Toa would willingly kill Matoran.
They're evil Matoran.
Doesn't matter.
They're Matoran criminals, bro.
Oh wait, the Toa do kill a Matoran. They kill Mavra.
Do you think
He
that
falls.
if Tahu didn't have the Toa code, he wouldn't have roasted Akmu alive?
No, he would have. Yeah.
I mean, Lee Khan was gonna break the Toa code, and he's like Toa Captain America. Like, I think if the rules were a little more lax, people would go murdering out all over the place. Like, we'll even say later on that the Toa Mahri just kill Rahi by like the thousands, and they're even like, yeah, we will kill the Barraki if we have to. It's like, whoa there, bud. That's a little crazy, ain't it? So it's just
something about the Barraki that inspires people to kill them. They're like, you have
Murder's
to die.
back on the menu, boys.
Imagine they're about to kill the Barraki, then Botar shows up again. Teleports over.
Yeah.
No.
Jell is just like, Pterodax, I understand you now. You and I, we're the same.
Taylor looking at Makuta. We're not so different, you and I. That'd be funny. So then Makuta is like, man, that was a crazy series of events. But then he's also like, you know, the Barraki were trying to overthrow the Great Spirit, and they sucked at it. They were garbage, and they never could have done it. But I'm like the best thing ever, so maybe I could do it. And he files that away for later use.
For later use. He remembers that for roughly 79,000 years.
Yeah. Bro has a sharp like attack. So then we start off with chapter 1. Well, we don't start off. We continue with chapter 1. Depends on if you count prologues as part of the story. Well, they are. You know what I mean.
And we do know that Greg absolutely loves his prologues.
He does love his prologues and setting in crazy amounts of time before the story happens. Anyway, so chapter 1. An Onu Matoran named Reza is gathering airweed in the fields of air, where all the airweed is. So he's a Hydruka farmer, and he has like a herd of a few of them. And this is where he just kind of gives details on how Maranui works. He's like, oh yeah, I'm from Maranui, the city that's made by air bubbles where we have to harvest airweed to replenish them so we don't get attacked by all the sea predators who aren't attacking me now because it's the safe hour. But then, as he's thinking about all these exposition details, he's like, how long has it been? Is the safe hour over? I better start moving back. Which I'm like, if your entire life depends on knowing when the safe hour is, I would like keep a watch on you or something. Like, what an idiot. So I thought that was pretty funny. However, so he's trying to herd the Hydruka, but they're like, no, we're going at our own pace, bro. Kind of jerkwads because he gets grabbed by a giant tentacle, which the safe hour is over, and then he gets pulled away. It's like, oh, that guy's a goner. So that kind of sets the tone for how this will be going forward. Matoran are not safe. They will and can die.
Speculation.
Die.
What do you think the giant tentacle was attached to?
A squid-like being.
Wow.
just a guess.
I was just wondering if there was like a specific Rahi that you thought it might be.
Well, I thought it was actually Kalma, but I don't know if they ever verify.
I feel like it probably is Kalma, right?
Because they really like saying...
It's Kalma, right?
Yeah.
No, you said it was
it's
Kalma
or
Kalma.
I'm
Just
calling
call
it
him
Kalma.
Kalma.
Kalma makes sense, though, because like calamari or whatever.
I want to try to use the right names. Like, Nuparu is how they always
He's my
pronounce
character. I get to pronounce him however I want. Lego, hear me now. I am officially taking control of Kalma the character. Except he's called Kalma, so he's legally distinct.
Kalma.
Kalma, baby. So.
Kalma, baby.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But here's my number.
Here's my
so
tentacle,
baby.
So, the scene then cuts to a Lamatoran named Defilak leading the council, and he's talking about how a guy just died, and that one also just died trying to reach the surface. And he's like, to summarize, in the past 2 weeks, 5 Matoran have died/gone missing. And he's like, that's really bad news, Bears.
Especially considering their population is not that much.
Like, they probably start out with max 1,000 Matoran.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've been losing a lot, like, fast. And so, he's like, what do we do? And some Matoran want to fight. Others counter that they don't know what to fight, because normally they just get picked off by random Rahi or go missing under mysterious circumstances. And this is where we learn the Matoran of Markjuly have never even met the Barraki. They don't know they exist.
Okay.
They've just had the after effects of the Barraki minions being around the area.
Yeah.
So, like, Barraki have taken out hundreds of Matoran without even trying. That's crazy. However, everyone knows that time is running out because Markjuly is essentially doomed. There's only so much airweed, so that is 1 clock. They're dying to random effects because this is a dangerous place to be. That's another clock. And they're like, this is just, bad. We need to change something. So this is when Defilak proposes a scouting party down into the big cliff, the black waters underneath Markjuly. He's like, we're going to go down there. We're going to see what the heck is attacking us and maybe get some information. And then when we come back, we'll actually have an enemy to fight and rally around. And I'm like, that's a fine enough plan. So then the motion passes, but by a slimmer margin than you would imagine. Like, a lot of Matoran are like, no, let's just stay here, defend, see how long we can last. So then a Matoran sentry finds the Mask of Life drifting down from Voyanui and goes out to grab it. And this is when we see, from the perspective of a squid, that it's like, that's interesting. And it goes and reports it to Kalma.
Greg also loves just randomly switching to Rahi perspectives for some reason.
I know, it's so funny when I saw that. I'm like, I wonder who wrote this book. It's a real mystery there, Greg. And it's also like, I wonder what Barraki he's reporting to, because they don't say it immediately.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, it's Kalma. Then we go on to chapter 2 and 3, where one of Kalma's squids tells him about the Mask of Life, and then he goes and gathers the Barraki, because he's like, this is a game changer. So now, Defilak and his Matoran, who are a volunteer party for the scouting mission, they operate a makeshift submarine that Defilak had created. And the submarine has like mounted launchers. It has like thick crystal panels that serve as viewports. It has light stones that it can shine out in front of it. And I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. And it has like propeller devices and whatever. I'm like, that's a pretty cool makeshift submarine.
Yeah.
So I liked it because it goes into detail about how it's made, and it can hold 4 people. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. However, it's never been tested even once.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny, actually. So,
I mean, not like the consequences are particularly high.
Yeah, because they still have their air bubbles.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to drown.
Yeah. So they go out in the submarine, off into the cliff, into the deep. And this is a very spooky and foreboding like part of the book.
What does the submarine look like?
It says that it's modeled after a Takea shark.
Okay.
So then they go down into the black, deep trench. And this is where they see a bunch of cool sea life in like the light stone headlamps, essentially. But the safe hour ends because they started at the safe hour and now it's coming to a close. And like, okay, this isn't great because they haven't really found anything. So then a bunch of sharks appear and they start ramming and biting at the sub. And to be fair, it takes a pretty hefty amount of punishment, but it's not going to stand up to a bunch of determined biomechanical sharks. And it gets ripped to pieces and the entire submarine is destroyed. I was like, no, that was so cool. But before we get to see what happens, and when it's getting ripped apart, the Matoran are like, if this breaks, because they're pedaling back up to Markjuly, right? They're like, if this breaks, we're all going to die. And so they actually have a plan that, like, when it does break, we're going to, essentially 3 of them are going to sacrifice themselves trying to hold back the sharks while the other makes a break for it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool and noble. Because one thing I want to point out is that the Matoran are actually very likable and super competent in what they do. Like, they're under no illusions, but they have a lot of skills, and they have those solidified air launchers that can actually hurt and make a difference.
Yeah.
Moving on, we cut to the Gamatoran, whose name is K-Rex, who takes the mask to a Po-Matoran mask carver called Dekar. So as she's taking it, though, a ton of plant life spawns and begins like choking her out because it's just like popping up everywhere and just a massive tangle growth. And then it does literally start like grabbing around, choking her. But then Dekar comes and he grabs her and he pulls her out and gets her inside an air bubble into his like little hut thing. So then she's like, this thing is heckin' spooky. It's probably what caused that. You take it. I don't want to deal with it. And then Dekar is like, I don't want a weird cursed mask. What are you doing? She's like, you're a mask carver. And then she bolts. She just leaves.
You're a mask carver.
And he's like, okay. Then he picks it up and he notices that it has a hairline crack in it and can feel power emanating from it. It's like, that's probably not a good thing. So then Dekar goes out to hunt while he has the mask on because he's like, I'll put it somewhere later. It's not that big of a deal.
I'd like to point out that the only times we see a legendary mask cracked, we've seen it twice, and both are underwater.
I had the exact same thought. I'm like, what about being underwater just makes legendary masks go, I'm out.
I was reading
probably because they're not supposed to be there
by the Green Changeling, and they mentioned the Doofenshmirtz like, it's weird that happened. If I had a nickel for it, or no, they said if I had a nickel for, so it's a different one, but this is it is the same one. If I had a nickel for every time,
If I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet.
Yeah, so it applies here too. If I had a nickel for every time a legendary mask was cracked under the water, I'd have 2 nickels.
And it's also funny because I think these are 2 of the only masks that we ever see damaged in the story, and it's like the 2 masks you don't want to see damaged in the story.
You especially the both of them.
Both of them, like if it ends, bad. The world's over. Like
both are bad.
You're sunk. Yeah, so I always thought that was interesting. So Dekar is going out and he sees an aggressive venom eel that is going to attack the city. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go take it out. So he charges it with a spear, gets a killing blow, pulls his spear out, and the venom eel regenerates. He's like, uh-oh, that's not good. He gets it 2 more times in spots that should at least severely injure it, and again, it completely heals. And he's like, this is really bad. So then he starts booking it back to the city, and as he does, hundreds of venom eels start swarming in towards Markjuly, and he's like, holy cow. So it then cuts to K-Rex again, who there's a bunch of Hydruka in the field, and she is defending them with her squad, right? Because they're trying to get them back, because there's a limited amount of Hydruka.
Yeah.
However, they all get captured by Karapar, and that's where chapter 3 ends. So now we pick up with chapter 4, 5, and 6, because I just put it into larger chunks because events became less segmented. And this is where we cut now to the Matoran in the sub, who when it broke, they all got captured by Prydak. So Prydak interrogates the 4 captured Matoran, and he's like, where the heck is the mask? And they're like, what mask? Because they left before they got any news on what the mask. They're like, what are you talking about? And also, we're not going to tell you, which is a pretty hilarious combo.
And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah. And so they're like, we're not going to tell you. And Pradak's like, okay, let me try this. He's like, you have 2 minutes before I do this again. And he grabs one of the Matoran named Sarda, throws him out into a bunch of waiting sharks, and he gets ripped to shreds. You're like,
Really?
Wow.
whoa.
They killed a named character.
Not on screen. Like they say, he throws him out to the sharks, and then he turns back and he's like, that's what's going to happen to you. But then you never see him again in the book. It's like, I think he died. So then he's like, I'm going to do that to the next one in 2 minutes unless you start talking. Oh yeah, when he throws him out, Prydac says, will he live? Will he die? Do I care? Not at all. But you do, Matoran, and you have 1 minute to tell me what I want to know. Then the Gamatoran joins her friend. I'm like, ooh, that's actually a cool moment. Like, Prydac is pretty threatening. And I do want to say, getting tossed to sharks is probably the most brutal death we've ever seen a Matoran get.
Are they sharks or are they Makuta fish?
They're Takea sharks. Going back to it, Defilik and Gar, who is the other, he's an Onu Matoran with them. So it's a Gamatoran named something or other. It's Defilik.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, and Gar. And so Defilik and Gar said they destroyed the mask because it would be useful to the city. Because at first, like, we don't know. And now they're like, okay, we destroyed it. But again, they've never seen this and they don't know what this mask is.
So they're
like,
lying through their teeth.
And then Prydac is like, yeah, you stupid Matoran, you would do something like that. Then he gets mad at him. And the Matoran get really defiant and sassy. And they ask why Prydac
Defilicant. Sorry,
Defilik.
that didn't work.
Failed Bionicle button counter.
Dang it.
Get him,
No.
get him.
The guy who's keeping track of all this is like, yes.
Oh, actually, I had a note. Zerkalda has to be officially designated the channel chronicler.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wait, should we do that right now?
Yeah,
like
that's
officially designate.
yeah, this is a shout out to you, Zerkalda. You are officially the chronicler.
Yep. The place we named the corner after.
Yes, exactly.
We dubbed these Sir Chroniclers or Kelda.
You must now email us and tell us which character you want to be represented by. It has to be a Matoran, though.
But he's not on the show.
Not necessarily, but he's the chronicler. We've designated him.
You will be Holly as a Matoran.
Or Matoro, or
Matoro wasn't
or-
a chronicler.
Yeah, Matoro.
You could be
well,
Takua.
Takua.
Yeah, I guess Matoro wasn't a chronicler, but he was close enough.
Yeah. Oh, Kopeke becomes a chronicler. Kopek or whatever.
Kopek.
However
I
you pronounce
think it
this
was
stupid
Kopek.
name. You can be Kopek if you want.
Is there a canon design for Kopi?
He's the Metro Matoran.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. So now getting back to it, the Matoran get very defiant and sassy, and they're like, what gives you the right to lay claim to Maranui? What gives you the right to lay claim to the mask? And then Prydac's like, because I'm a Barraki? And he's like, it's conqueror's privilege? I'm going to conquer the whole universe, so I have the right to everything. And then Defilik recalls a Taraga tale about the Barraki that he heard on Voyanui. And he's like, I remember the Barraki vaguely. You don't really fit the description. You're a shark-looking guy. Yeah.
He definitely did not hear it on Voyanui.
Oh, yeah, not Voyanui. His previous
On
life.
southern continent.
The
Southern continent.
Yeah.
Voyanui before it got Voyanuized.
Voyanui eyes.
What a crazy. Never mind.
Yeah. So then Prydac does not like this and he drags him away. He's like, you're coming with me, buddy boy. So he drags him out of the cave and Defilik's like, wait. Yeah. So then Prydac takes him out to like an outcropping to overlook the battle of Maranui that is now occurring. Because as he looks out at hundreds of venom eels are attacking Maranui and the Matoran are defending with all their, air bubbles and whatever. And Prydac starts waxing poetic about his old life as a surface dweller. He's like, I used to be on the land where the people are. Insert any Little Mermaid reference, it'll work here. And he also says that...
Comparing Prydac to Ariel is actually one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Samuel, put on screen.
Jamie.
Prydac with long red hair, and then I don't know. You can
How
give him
far do you want to take that, Jacob?
Do all of the Little Mermaid, but it's Ariel replaced with Prydac.
The whole movie.
And Triton is Matanui. and Ursula is, I don't know, Karapar. No, Ursula's Kalma, squid guy. It's genius.
Brilliant.
It all works out. Okay, so then...
Do you think that would get copyright struck? If you replaced every main character with another character from Bionicle,
I think
No.
so.
It's too weird.
like, would it recognize it? Like, it'd be interesting. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that would be
but it's
interesting.
just
Yeah,
curious.
we digress.
Also, we're going to re-sing all of the songs.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
In
with
the
our
Barraki
excellent
voices.
song making, the Barraki voices. So anyway, going back, Predic also says that the Barraki were exiled and that Markjuly destroyed the city they had built as free beings after the pit, because they got out. He built the whole base and then Markjuly just crashed and destroyed the entire thing. So he's like, we heckin' hate you, Matoran. You're jerks. He then says if Defilik doesn't show him the mask, he'll die. And so Defilik's like, I'll take you to the mask. Easy peasy. No problem. I got you, bro. In the meantime, though, Karapar, who is the crab Barraki, is currently under Takadox's hypnosis. And he brings Kyrix, the Gamatoran who gave the mask to Dekar, to Takadox. So he's like, yeah, she's got info. And so when Karapar gets there, he snaps out of the hypnosis. He's like, Takadox, I don't like being hypnotized, okay? None of that. But he's so weakened at this point, he can't really fight. Will weakened at this point because he's been hypnotized so many times that he's not, super angry about it or anything, which is very sad.
That is sad. Is Karapar, canonically sort of dumb?
No, that's what surprised me about these books, because all the source info is Karapar is not the brightest, he gets by on his brute strength, but he makes, everything he says is so, calm and rational and reasonable. He thinks through problems, he determines situations accurately, and in fights, he's not a tactical doofus, and plays to his strength of, I'm the physically strongest and toughest guy here. If I get someone in a claw pinch, they're pretty much over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I don't know why all the source books say he's so dumb, because he's, I would say, one of the most intelligent Barraki, and the most socially intelligent short of Kolma. I'm like,
I was just thinking in
Hey,
F.
Pridak's
troop,
very
where he's like,
socially
Colonel
intelligent.
Agarn, I don't know why
everyone
everybody says you're so dumb.
That's a reference no one
No
will
one's
get.
going to get that one.
Yeah. No, but literally, that's how I...
Our one viewer who's over the age of 50.
Because before reading these books, he was my second least favorite Barraki, and he's probably shot up to number 2 or 3.
Wow.
Interesting.
Because I'm just like, holy cow, this
Who
guy...
did he surpass?
Well, everyone below him.
Brilliant.
Wow.
When we get to the Barraki episode, you'll get my Barraki, Ricky.
Okay.
You can't get him out of me now, boy. I see what you're
My
trying
evil
to do.
plan has been foiled.
Yeah. So, anyway, Takadox has this Gamatoran, and he hypnotizes her for the information. And she's like, here's all the information. I found the mask. It was doing weird stuff. Gave it to this rando, and he boogied out. And so Takadox is like, okay, evil shrimp claws. And he's like, we need to either intimidate or bargain with the Matoran to get the mask. So the thing Kyrix didn't know is that Dekar had left Markjuly. So she thinks he gave it to the council like he was supposed to do. So then Takadox is like, okay, we got to go, treat with them, deal with them. But then Karapar is like, actually, Elek's attacking them full force. They're all going to die soon. And Takadox is like, what? he does not like this. And he's like, but if I try to take out Elek, I know that Prydak won't be happy because we're supposed to be, one group. And Prydak is set up to be the scariest Barraki because, he's very fast, he's very tactical, and his jaws can bite through even Karapar's armor. It's like, ooh, that's a bad combo to have.
Just so you know, it's actually pronounced Alec.
Alec?
Like A as in Canadian.
Oh my gosh, they have Canadians in Bionicle now? It's Return of the Canucks.
Now all I can think of is Alec speaking with a Canadian accent.
Hey, I mean, if Prydak has a British accent, then...
That's true. They all have different accents. So you have Australian, you have, yeah. You could assign all of them.
Yeah, we'll sign them during the Barraki episode.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that was funny. Anyway, so then Takadox says to release the Matoran Kyrix back to Markjuly, and as some sort of a trap. So then Karapar goes and he releases her near Markjuly before her air bubble runs out. And as he does, Alec goes to intercept. He's like, a lone Matoran trying to head back to the city? Free food. Nyam, 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 nyam. But then Karapar is like, hey, she's supposed to go back to the city. So he goes and he intervenes and just grabs Alec. And he's like, I'm going to kill you if you don't stop. And then Alec's like, I'm going to zap you. but it doesn't kill Karapar, so he still has his claws around him. And it says he almost bisects Alec. And then Alec's like, okay, actually, you got me. And it even says that Karapar heard something crack when he was doing it. And then Karapar has one of the best lines because the something cracks and he's like, what did I say? Did I say, Alec, go ahead? I didn't hear myself say that. I'm like, see,
Brilliant.
he can make witty jokes and whatever. Karapar's the goat.
Right.
And he's also like the nicest Barraki because he's very amiable and like friendly almost. He doesn't betray anyone. I'm like, oh, he's just
the nicest Barraki.
Yeah. The Barraki.
That's like saying the Makuta fish least likely to kill you.
Yes. But the Barraki,
it's kind of like when we were talking about Avac, like how Avac is
the best of the Barraki. But the Barraki as a whole are much nicer and more reasonable than the Paraka. Because we said the Paraka are like all the way evil and selfish. The Barraki have some standards and morals, which is interesting, and I really like it, but we'll get more into it in the Barraki episode. This is just a teaser for the Barraki episode, essentially. Yeah. So then Alec is fine, I won't kill the Matoran, okay? You got me. So then it's going back to the battle because everyone's still being attacked. And Dakar sees that everyone around him is immortal. They're getting attacked by venom eels. They're getting regenerated. The venom eels are getting hit with toxic gas. They're totally fine. And he's like, this means the defenses are completely useless and it's going to be a stalemate that we're going to eventually lose, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, for the good of the city, I am going to go and destroy the mask way far out. So he goes out and he's about to hit the mask with a stone, and then it shoots out a beam of energy. It's like, whoa.
Why did he decide to go destroy the mask?
Because everyone was immortal around him.
Well, yeah, but so he just assumed that it was the mask doing it.
Because he saw the mask curse K-Rex, and he's like, okay, that's spooky.
Okay.
He's touching the mask. He's not able to kill anything. He's able to put two and two together, be like, this thing is some sort of evil cursed object.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow it up. Fortunately, it doesn't quite work yet because it shoots out energy. In the meantime, Kalma grabs Mantax, the manta ray Barraki, and he's like, okay, I see what's going on, but we got to look out for the mask. Then they see Dakar swimming away into a cave where he's going to go destroy the mask, and they're like, aha, that's our ticket. So they go up and to go try and get him. And that's when Dakar is about to destroy the mask. And then we cut again to Karapar telling the Matoran that if they don't give him the mask, he'll destroy the airweed fields and his army, or with his army.
I was like, what?
And his army.
They're like, if you don't give it to my mans, I'll kill 20 crabs. Greg's like, no, please, save the crabs.
If you don't
Tell
give
us
it
where
to
the talking mom is,
and we'll burn your house to the ground. I was literally thinking that.
Fine.
Tell me where the Mask of Life is, and I'll burn your city to the ground.
I'm just imagining him like popping the air bubble with like a giant comedically oversized pig. Just
Mama?
That's a good point. So many parallels.
This is you, Jen. Jen.
Dude, we just made so many references.
Yeah. If someone got all those references, $17 to your bank account.
No, Thomas, no. You don't have any.
I didn't say from where.
To your smooches account.
To your smooches account.
I only had 17 smooches in my smooching account.
And 17 little freaks in your little freaks account.
And 17 Barraki talk shows in my
Your
Barraki talk show account.
Actually, we have 38 at this point.
True.
We're living large.
Actually, this would be 39.
Oh, yeah, because episode 0 doesn't count as a number.
Well, also, this would be 39 counting, right? So,
anyway, so we don't get to see much of that because this is when a massive shadow starts appearing over Markjuly and everyone looks up. And this is where we find out that the Mask of Life, the beam that it shot before Descartes destroyed it, hit a venom eel that turned it from a normal, few feet long venom eel into a 300-foot long venom eel with accompanying size. This thing is ginormous. It's almost as big as the city of Markjuly. It's like massive. Like, holy moly. I can't explain. Well, it's 300 feet long, but it's big. It's a chunky boy is what I'm trying to get at here. So that thing comes out and everyone's like, oh my gosh. In the meantime, Idris and Gar used the distraction to make a break for it. They were the the Gomatoran and the Onumatoran left in Prydaek's cave. So they see the venom eel swimming by. They're like, everyone's going to be terrified of that. Let's go back to the city because it's our only chance that we're going to die and get eaten by sharks. And then Markjuly and the Barraki armies all like, oh, whose side is that on? And Halek knows it's not on his side because he's like, I don't control that venom eel, even though because venom eels make up his army. So Prydaek and Defilek are distracted by it as well because it's going through. So then we go to chapter 7 and 8. And when it gets transformed, because Kalma and Mantax were nearby Dakar when it happened, and the venom eel was, it completely knocks out Kalma because it was just swimming by and it just hit him. And Mantax stayed out of the way and kind of hid because he's like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, if I saw a 30-story building just swimming past me, I'd probably get out of the way too.
Yeah, same. So the thing is attracted to like light and sound. So it's seeing Markjuly and all its light stones. I was like, and it just starts ramming buildings and obliterating them. So Takedox is funny because he's like, oh my gosh, that thing is crazy. But then Takedox has an idea. And he's like, I wonder if I can hypnotize it because that would be hilarious.
He's like, oh, see if Karpar ever tries to snap my neck again.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that was Alek. Never mind.
Yeah.
This 300-foot venom eel isn't a problem. It's an opportunity.
I know. Literally, that's what he was thinking. I'm like, you're a go-getter, man, but this may be too much to go and get. So Alek uses the disturbance to take Karpar, and he's like, okay, Karpar, we're not enemies anymore, but Prydaek's not at home, so we can go raid his stuff while he's gone.
Dang.
And how are they different from the Paraka?
Well, because it took hesitation. He hadn't done it immediately. So because Alek thinks that someone betrayed the Barraki to the Brotherhood of Makuta, and he's like, I think it was Prydaek. And so, because Prydaek was a former Brotherhood of Makuta member.
Yeah.
So as they're going there, they encounter Brutaka, who has shown up in the middle of it and been transformed to be amphibious, right? Because Brutaka, at the end of Voinui, was transported to the pit, which is now full of mutagenic water. So he got transformed, and he just swam out, and he's like, hey guys, what's going on?
Wait, so Botar just...
Uh-huh. He just deposits people.
How does Botar not get transformed?
He's immune.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember now. That's horrible.
I know. I'm like, Botar,
and he knows it's compromised too.
Mm-hmm.
So he just going there does not care.
Yeah.
It's just like a formality at that point.
Botar's like, I'm just doing my job. Bro. Hellworks is probably like, it's what?
Botar is kind of the worst, actually.
Botar's like, I wonder if I can fit a Tatorok in here.
I don't even want to see what the mutagen would do to a Tatorok.
Just make it have gills.
Yeah.
Tatorok fighting the 300-foot venom eel. Anyway, so they find Brutaka, and they're actually able to outmaneuver him somewhat because he's not used to fighting underwater and like his skills are weird here. But then they kind of come to a stalemate, and Brutaka's like, I'm Brutaka, you know, and I want to team up with you guys to find the Mask of Life. He's like, because I am also, you know, super interested in getting it, you know, for, I don't know, whatever reason he gave.
Altruistic reasons.
Yeah, for sure. No. And then Elek's like, yeah, but we'll have to fight the giant venom eel to get to it. And then Brutaka's like, yeah, that's probably not good. Also, there's probably going to be 6 Toa on the way soon, so we got to look out for that. And the Barraki are like, what? Why would 6 Toa be coming down here? But it's just funny because, like, imagine you get teleported like the depths of the sea, mutagenic water with giant venom eels. You're like, those 6 Toa are going to find me. I just know it.
And the funny thing is he's not wrong.
I know, he's not
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Prydaek goes towards the eel and the mask, and Defilek escapes to go help Idris and Gar. So they're in the airweed fields. Prydaek goes towards the eel to go do stuff. Defilek is left unattended. He sees Idris and Gar swimming up from Prydaek's cave, and they're almost out of air, so he goes to go help them. And with his help, they're all able to get back to Markjuly. So K-Rex and the 3 surviving Matoran from the sub-expedition all managed to stay alive, which I'm like, that's nice and sweet. Poor Sarda. Too bad he got ripped to shreds by sharks. Off screen, of course.
Did he?
So, then we cut back to Dakar, who when he touched the mask, we now get a big info dump of lore straight into his brain. So
wow, we're getting more and more efficient with our info dumping, aren't we?
Exactly. Yes. So the mask thinks that it was made. It doesn't think. It's imparting this information. It says it was made by the great beings at the beginning of the universe. In its naivete, it caused one great being to bring all inanimate things to life around him because it thought of it as a gift. It's like, oh, I'm gifting this great being the ability to make anything alive. But then the great being's like, literally everything I touch comes alive. So he had to be quarantined, and the other great beings are like, we're locking this mask away because that's spooky stuff there.
That's way worse than the Midas touch.
Yeah, that's really
I know.
bad.
I remember hearing this. I'm like, that's crazy. And we do learn a bit more about it later, and it can even bring light beams and particles to life.
Dang.
Which is like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so, wait. Is that how Umbra came into being?
I was wondering. Well, probably actually.
No, probably not, but interesting nonetheless.
Well,
wonder,
it makes sense
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, if he was made by the Mask of Light to be a guardian, Mask of Life to be a guardian for it, that it could also make other light come alive.
Yeah. So weird that there's precedents for living life or light. So in its naivete, it cursed one great being to bring all the animate things to life. So then it was put in the Chamber of Life, and a Toa team had used it. So this was led by Toa Jovan, who was a Toa of magnetism.
And we know of Jovan.
Yes, he was the Turaga on Voya Nui. So then we see that Toa Jovan's team went down, beat all the Guardians, got the mask, went up, used it somewhere, and then came back and put the mask away, and that's when they became Turaga, because they fulfilled their destiny. So I'm like, okay.
Wait, do we know what they used it for?
Well, yes, we do. We find out they use it to restore Madanui's life force after the Matoran Civil War.
Oh.
Because the Matoran Civil War was super long. It was like 200 years or 400 years.
I can't remember.
And so the Matoran weren't working at the time, so they had to go use the mask to give the Great Spirit a bit of a kickstart. So after that happened, it now goes to the Toa and Nika coming down into the Chamber of Life. And this is where it sensed that Matoro wasn't yet destined to put on the mask. So that's why it, jumped away and flew into the pit. Because it's semi-leading them, because it's like damage needs to be repaired here before the destiny can be completed of Matoro. And so this is obviously, I thought, a pretty good segue into saying, okay, they need to accomplish something vital here, but you don't yet know what it is. And it will be revealed, though. What it didn't count on, because the mask is not omnipotent, is that the pit water was corrosive and has begun destroying the mask. So it's like, that's not good. Also, it says that the mask now knew fear because the water or the Barraki would eventually destroy it. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. The Mask of Life, this like very far off distant concept, is like, I'm afraid for my life. I just thought it was, pretty interesting. So that's why it made the Venom Eel to protect itself.
It could save others from dying, but it could not save itself.
Exactly. But I'm also sitting there, I'm like, why stop at one 300-foot Venom Eel? Go ahead.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
a good point, actually.
Yeah. I'm like, there's hundreds of Venom Eels just right over there. You can take one home. No one's stopping you. Yeah. Anyway.
The Venom Eels are free. You can just take them home.
Alec doesn't want you to know this. So then we cut to chapter 9, and Defilek, Idris, and Gar told everyone in the city to smash the light stones and stay still. So, because the Venom Eel is attracted to light and movement, so they destroy all the lights and stop moving, go complete blackout mode. And the giant Venom Eel is like, I'm confused. There used to be a bunch of stuff there, but now it's all gone. This doesn't make any sense to me. And so it's kind of looking around, and as it's looking around, it looks into the eyes of Takedox, who's like, you trust in me. Yeah. And so it actually is working, and the Venom Eel's like, oh yeah, I kind of want to follow what this guy's saying. And I'm like, no way that actually worked.
I feel like I should touch that.
Yeah, but then sounds from the cord, which is the big thing that connects to Maranui, start emanating around the ocean, and the Venom Eel's like, oh, what is that? And as it turns around, its tail smacks Takedox and sends him straight down to the bottom of the pit.
Amazing.
And it says it was like super lucky that he even survived. I'm like, I gotta hand it to you, man. You were this close. So then the venom eel goes over and I have a quote. It says, the creature had no idea if the cord contained land animals, sea animals, Matoran toa, or something else. Nor did it care. It did not believe in discrimination. Like, so you had a whole paragraph and then just a little fun fact in there where it's like, the venom eel looks at the camera, racism is bad. Venom eel PSA.
I mean, this coming from the guy who is obsessed with Rahi perspectives, so you know.
Greg's like, Rahi aren't racist, okay? Matoran are racist against the Rahi.
I think that we can all agree that Greg would side with the Rahi if it came down to it.
Greg's like, Keelarak will have his revenge.
I like
Kolarak.
At the beginning of the book, he's like, slavery is good. And then at the end of the book, he's like, discrimination, not okay.
It was non-discriminatory slavery. They just grabbed everyone.
As long as they were a Matoran.
Well, we don't know. The armies were made up of a variety of
Fair
species.
point.
Matoran was just the weirdest one.
Greg Farshty, pro-slavery, anti-discrimination.
He wants everybody to be slaves. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. That's right. Yes.
He's like, I think everyone should be slaves. Makes things so much easier. So then...
If everybody's enslaved, no one will be.
So then the eel is like, I'm just going to go destroy the cord and eat whatever is inside of it. So I think you can take a wild guess at who is inside the cord. But anyway, the rest of the Barraki gathered to help find Kalma and Dekar.
Wait, who is it?
You're joking.
No, I'm actually...
Don't even grace
I'm,
me with
I'm
an
actually
answer.
stupid. No, I'm stupid. Who is it?
It's your
a
mom.
Toa and Axon.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay.
Well, Axon's not there with him right now, but
Right now, at this very moment.
yeah, because there was going to be a book in between this
I
one and
remember you
Prisoners of the
telling me that.
Pit, all about the Toa going through the cord, you know.
Oh, right.
And so
right.
presumably would have had more
I'm
Axon.
dumb.
Yeah,
I'm dumb.
it's fine, and we'll never get that book.
Yeah, but we already got it. It was the one where they went down the tunnel and did all the things.
No,
And then the other one where they went down the tunnel and did all the things.
One they were going up the
and the
tunnel,
other
the
one
other
where
they were going
went down the tunnel and did
tunnel.
all the things. It's the same book. Greg Farshty wrote the same book 3 times. He didn't want to write another one.
No, they saw how good it was gonna be, and they shot him in the kneecaps or something. Like, you can't write this, Greg.
Greg, blink twice if you still have kneecaps.
Going back to it, the Barraki gathered to help find Kalma and Dekar, because they're like, Kalma got hit and is somewhere, and Dekar went into that cave when a giant 300-foot venom eel came out. But he had the mask, so we got to go find him. And as they start going inside, Prydak is like, who's this guy? I'm going to kill him. And then Brutaka just one-shots Prydak because what do you think was going to happen? And so Prydak is like kind of falling to the ocean floor, but is able to wake up and stabilize himself. And Brutaka is like, you Barraki, you work for me now, okay? We're all gonna go get the mask, but I'm in charge.
Brutaka's like, I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
Pretty much. So then all the Barraki are like, sure, bro. Wink, wink. We'll help you. Wink, wink, wink. Kalma's winking with all 3 eyes.
I forgot Kalma had 3 eyes.
Yeah. Although one of them doesn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
But do his eyelids still work? Because we know, well, at least Matoran have eyelids. I like to assume the others do as well.
Did you just say the othies?
The others. The othies?
I think you said the othies do as well.
The uddies.
The othies.
The othies. The others from Lost.
I want to, when we're done, let's go back and look.
I like to assume the others too as well. The others too as well. The others too as well. The others too as well.
So, eventually they find Kalma, who's unconscious, but then they wake him up, and then they find Dekar. And Brutaka says, he's like trying to negotiate with Dekar, and he's like, I am a member of the Order of Madanui, an organization dedicated to following the dictates of the Great Spirit. You must give me the mask. I vow by Madanui that the Barraki will never get their hands on it. And everything he says here is not technically a lie, but it's obviously very deceptive because Brutaka is very much evil at this point. And so, like, he does work or he is a member of the or at least was formerly.
He's lying by omission.
Yes,
Right.
because he
Yeah.
does not want to give the Barraki the mask. Obviously, he's going to take it for himself. He was a member, and it does claim to follow the dictates of the Great Spirit.
It would pass the Axon test.
Yeah, but then Descartes is like, I'm not giving it to you, you stupid idiot. I'm going to destroy it. I'm like,
Because Descartes is the smartest character in this whole story.
Dude, I don't
Except
know
that
my
he would
words.
literally doom the entire universe if he
He
followed
doesn't
through
know
on-
this at that
I
point.
Yeah,
know,
that's
I'm
not
just
his
saying.
point.
based on
it's-
knowledge he has, all
He is
the
making-
yellow, yeah, he's
Yes.
making the right choice. And based on the knowledge everyone has, the yellowed armored beings are perhaps the smartest in this wave. Because Karapar, obviously, the goat, very intelligent, quippy, funny. Descartes, obviously, goated, he's clever. He figures out what's going on. Brutaka is also very clever and cool. And then Hyuki does cool stuff later on. So it's like, it's all ups from here for the yellow crew.
Yellow Crew.
So-
and Kitangu.
and Kitangu.
Kitangu. Oh, also, I just have to mention Hafu because he hasn't been mentioned in a while, and
There you go, Zerkelda.
Yeah.
Make your job harder.
Yeah. No. I'm making his job easier.
No.
Hafu. Does that count as four
No,
Hafu
he doesn't count
references?
specific words. It counts mentions. Yeah. Bring it up later.
Anyway,
So
plus yellow made me think of Hafu, even though he's not yellow.
he seems...
He gives off yellow vibes.
Well, because yellow is now linked with the Poe.
Yeah. Which is it's so annoying that they swapped them.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We'll
It's fine.
talk about it later.
Oh, it's orange, really, but
So anyway, Kalma and the rest were so calm because Kalma had been calling a giant squid to his aid. So as Brutaka is getting distracted by talking to Descartes, a giant squid grabs Brutaka and then drags him into the dark abyss
is
beyond.
that just a thing Kalma can do?
Well, he has squids in his army.
Yeah. How does he actually control them?
It's a good point. They never really explain how the Barraki control their armies.
That's what I was
Aquaman-esque.
that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Like, how do they actually control them? Like Karapar, I assume Prydak just feeds the sharks, I assume.
No, he controls them. He can make
He,
them do
can
maneuvers
actually
and stuff.
control them?
Yeah. He issues tactical plans to them.
It must just be like an ability that
I'm guessing that's what they
Yeah.
have. Or maybe these Rahi are just... Since we do get to perspectives of so many Rahi, maybe they are just more intelligent
that's
than
true. And
animals
we
in our
literally
world.
get a squid
Yeah.
perspective.
And the Venomeel. The Venomeel's fairly intelligent as far as things go. So maybe they can just understand
it has a
complex battle
300
plans.
foot brain, so I think it would be.
No, the
pretty
brain's
intelligent.
not 300 feet. Unless it's
The
literally
brain
all
goes
brain.
all the way.
The Mask of Life just mutated its brain to be huge. And that's what... It didn't actually get
No,
bigger.
I actually like to think that its brain stayed the same size and its body just increased massively.
Oh, that'd be funny. Anyway, so the giant squid just grabs him and drags him off into the abyss, and Brutaka's like, ah! And then he's gone for the entire rest of the book and the next one.
Dang.
And you're like, did Brutaka just die?
Very unclear.
So then the Barraki are all like, good riddance, loser. And I'm like, that's actually pretty funny, honestly.
Giant squid Deus Ex
Yeah.
Machina.
Yeah. And so then Descartes is like, I'm not giving it to you, Barraki. And then Alec just zaps Descartes with his powers. So he's gone. And they're like,
He's gone. Like he's.
well,
dead.
no, he's just, paralyzed on the ground. And then all the Barraki are standing like, there's no one else to stop us. We can just take the mask. So Prydak goes and he touches the mask. But then a bright light floods the whole place. And the book ends.
So why is it that every time anyone else touches the Mask of Life, it mutates them, but in this book they're touching it all over the place and it's not?
It doesn't
mutating?
mutate. It curses them.
Oh.
If you are touching the mask, you are cursed. It was an extra jerk to Vezon because it fused itself to his
Right,
head.
right,
So he
right.
couldn't stop touching the mask. But that's because it wanted a specific guardian.
Does it always curse anyone who touches it?
Anyone who's not destined. So Matoro can touch it just fine, but he is the only one.
So but Descartes touches it.
And
He
he's
is
cursed with the immortality of everything around him. He himself is not immortal, which I'm
It's
like,
not
bummer.
strictly like a permanent curse.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just that
It's strictly as long as you're in contact.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, gotcha. So when Prydak touches it and whatever, they get cursed too.
We don't... Prydak holds it for a little bit in the story, but we never actually see what his curse is.
because like in the case of Descartes, you wouldn't have known
If he
what
didn't
really-
try to kill the Venomeel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
fair
it's
point.
it's like he probably was cursed. We just
And later on,
never
Nocturne gets
had
the
enough
curse
time.
of death touch. But like if he's not touching fish, how would you know? Right. So I like to assume Predax was something funny. It's like, ooh, his left eye turned green for 1 nanosecond. That's your curse. But also, if you're the Mask of Life, and do you get to choose the curses? Because I would curse Predax with something really bad. I'm like, your head explodes.
The first thing is just like it feels like it makes sense, but also at the same time, like it's kind of unnecessary. Especially with just how often it's being juggled in this story.
I don't know. I think it's cool because anyone with essentially the MacGuffin has some new plot point happening that makes it harder to get for the other people. But anyway, that is the end of the book and will be followed up with Prisoners of Pit events, which we'll cover in Toamari events. So that is the whole book, but we'll go into overall thoughts after a brief Chroniclers Corner. You are now entering the Chroniclers Corner. The following content may not be appropriate for viewers unaware or unacquainted with the wider Bionicle lore, as major plot points and reveals will be spoiled. If you wish to avoid this section, skip to this time in the podcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sarda does not die here.
Sarda does not die.
Yes.
I was reading the book, I'm like, man, that's a brutal way to kill it. Then I was reading the serials, and it's like, it picks up with Sarda getting rescued by Toa Lesovek.
I was like, wait a minute, Sarda's the one from the set.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
I recognized the name. I was like, wait a second. Sarda's important. They wouldn't just kill Sarda.
I know. Because I'm like, it's so weird they didn't confirm his death, because it's like a cool and threatening moment. I honestly really liked it, but then I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, he gets saved. That makes sense, I guess, but it really undercuts the whole scene, which bummed me out. And it's also so coincidental that Sarda is like seconds away from death when Lesovek shows up in the middle of the ocean at that time, in the like, because he hasn't seen him in like 60,000 years, and that's the exact moment he decides to show up. It's like, sure, bro, Destiny's working overtime here. So yes, that is true. And so going back to the light thing that we mentioned earlier with Umbra and the cursed great being able to bring light to life, the Evoca, the sentient lightning bolts, which are sometimes...
Which you are quote-unquoting with your fingers.
Yeah, they're kind of classified as Rahi, but I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know how they would even be a Rahi. So I think them being made with the Mask of Light and just being lightning bolts that are brought to life makes a lot more sense to me.
I'm feeling
To me, it
22.
Anyway, just to summarize it though, so Sarda was not actually dead, got rescued by Lesovek. The Voka, the sentient lightning bolts, would be cool if they were made by the Mask of Life as just lightning brought to life, or some permutation of that power. But then the next one, so
Joven's team took the Mask of Life. Does that mean they had to sacrifice someone to...
Yes.
Okay.
Someone got.
Do we know who that is? Okay.
Joven is the only one of his team that we know the name or element of, which I'm so sad. I'm like, they seem like a based Toa team.
Seems really weird.
Can't be as based as the Haga, but still.
Yeah, obviously.
It's just weird that that's not been like mentioned. You would feel like it feels like there should be some grand story about like the Toa presumably who sacrificed. Like Matoro,
you're not gonna believe this.
I know, but I'm saying like Matoro is legendary, at least to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like the Matoran would have written stories about the first person to do this, right? Like this Matoro is not the first Bionicle Jesus.
The first guy was,
but he's the last.
Yeah. So maybe it was. Here's my theory. So Joven is like, oh man, my Toa team got the mask. My Toa team, one of them died. One of the guys from my team went and died, and he purposely doesn't tell anyone the names because he wants to take all the credit. That's my theory. So he can make the
joke's on him. He gets squished.
Exactly.
Why is the roof getting so much closer?
He's like, my mask of flight, it's triggering. Splat! But maybe just word didn't get around because it wasn't as serious as the current predicament.
Yeah.
That's my only possible guess. It does seem like a bit of a missed opportunity or plot hole, at the very least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
So much of Bionicle lore is like, I wish I knew more about that Toa team.
Yeah.
They seem cool. We needed like a Toa team ultimate rumble where it's like the Haga versus, well, everyone else really would be a fair match. The Haga and Lakon versus everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. So now we come to overall thoughts. I actually liked this book. I thought the tone was really cool and creeping because since you're going from the perspective of Matoran, like the Barraki aren't powerful compared to the Paraka. They're not even that powerful compared to Toa. But the threat towards a Matoran is insane and it's so visceral, right? Like the Paraka will blow you up with some crazy power, but Prydak will literally rip you apart with his jaws. Kairapar will snap you in half with his claw. You'll get torn apart by sharks. Like it's a very visceral terror and I like it.
I feel like we kind of have kept some of like that just like very unapologetically cool that we got with like the Voyanui stuff, but then like added back in some of the more Bionicle elements.
Yes, I was literally going to say that. This feels like a synthesis of 2006 and the previous tone of Bionicle because like it's legendary, but it feels more it has more verisimilitude with the rest of the story. It doesn't feel like they could go and kidnap a band in real life, you know?
Right.
So it's I like it. I think this is probably my preferred tone for the series. I excuse it for 2005 or 2006 because the Paraka are just, they can't be beat, honestly.
The whole 2006 wave is just like I said, just unapologetically cool, and I'm not mad about it. Like, you know, it's very different from everything that came before it, but it doesn't feel particularly unbionicle to me.
Yeah. One thing I also really like about the lowered powers and kind of stakes almost is that it allows for larger scale battles and events, right? Because if you have like 30 Takeo sharks, they're just sharks, right? You don't have to account for any special powers in battle. So you can have 100 venom eels fighting, 100 Matoran villagers, and that can play out in a normal manner. Whereas if it was all the Voyanui Matoran, you'd have random one-off abilities going off every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And if all the venom eels had specific powers, you'd be like, what the heck is going on, right? So this makes for very logical, feasible, and understandable battle scenarios, which is a first for Bionicle, really, because pretty much every other, even Swarm type thing they had unique abilities.
I feel like this whole thing is kind of like a soft power reset. Like it kind of takes some of the ridiculous highs that we've achieved and like brings them back down to like a conceivable level.
I don't think it's a soft power reset. I think it's a total outlier because the next wave of villains, minor spoilers, are straight up Makuta. Like,
true.
Who are the most overpowered thing in the sense of they have the most powers in the entire universe.
Fair point.
So it's a weird outlier, but I really like it.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand on the power lowering. I also really like the Matoran in this book. They're aggressive and proactive and competent. And when like they're close to death, I'm like, no, please don't die. But I'm like, you could die. Like 5 died at the start of the book. Like we see, like I'm like, so every time they're on screen, I'm like, are they gonna die? Like is Kairapar gonna like smush them like a bug? So I liked that genuine tension that they had. And it's also funny because like they're hilariously outmatched. Like it's all of Maranui for most of the book versus Alek's army alone. That does not include the other 5 Barraki's entire armies.
Right.
So it's like, if the Barraki wanted to, they could just destroy all of Maranui. So seeing them fight so desperately is heartwarming and cool. Also, I like the Barraki themselves. They act like warlords who take themselves seriously, and they have some sense of cohesion and unity. And it's mostly in the sense of, we've been in this together for like 80,000 years. I'm not going to break it over, a fruit snack. But when the Mask of Life comes into play, they're like, I would consider breaking, our deals for that. So I appreciate that about them. I appreciate Kairapar. He's based. We've already gone over that. Him? And so those are my overall thoughts. I think this is a good book. Probably one of, like in the top 10 for sure. Maybe even top 8.
Thomas, which books is it better than?
the other top two in the bottom two in the top 10 is what is better than. Jacob was trying to figure something out.
It took me a second
I
to
like
remember
less
that
than
you were
half
making
of you
fun
half
of me.
as well as you deserve.
I like less than half of you half as well as I like Nuju. Wait,
Wait, what?
does that mean I like them not at all or more than Nuju?
I do
Half as well as I like Nuju. Yeah, so I like at least 49% of them, like less than
you
Nuju.
like Nuju.
Wow, that's not true. I revoked that statement. Holy cow. I can't hate anything that much.
I feel like these books, the Legends books, are by and large the best books, having not actually read the Mahri ones.
But Jacob's like
based
ignoring
on-
half
based on the
I've
story-
read half, less than half of you have as well as I've read them.
I've read all of the Barraki ones. It's been a while, but I've read them.
Okay.
And I've read all of the adventures and all of the tales.
Mhm.
So, like,
Chronicles.
Chronicles. Yeah. And having all of those together, I definitely think I can say that I like the Legends the best so far. And I didn't read this book, but having had the whole story explained to me, still think it's the best. I think there's some highs and adventures. I think Chronicles is the weakest overall, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I was going through and I was doing a book ranking of the ones I've currently read, and none of the Legends was in bad or lower. And I'm like, that's a pretty good sign. Only one of them was Prisoners of the Pit, which I don't like very much, was in bad or lower. The others were in good or like great. And Legacy of Evil alone, I think, would completely carry Legends to the best of any of them, because it's phenomenal. I can love Legacy of Evil. So
I think one thing that's really interesting is, and probably the reason why I never read these books is because at this point, they were going really hard with the comics as their primary storytelling method. Like, the comics had been there, like, as part of the Bionicle story since the beginning. But, like...
But if you just read the comics, you wouldn't get the full story.
Whereas, starting with the Mahri,
yeah,
you get the whole story just from, or you would get all the major plot points just from reading the comics.
Yeah.
And so that's where most of my Mahri knowledge comes from, is from reading the comics.
And I actually agree, because I remember reading the Mahri comics. They're kind of like the first I got into. And so I reread them all before this, and I was like, wow, I actually like the comics better than some parts of the book. And I think they condense timeline events very well for the most part. So I was like, that's cool. Well, we can talk about the comics later on, because I had notes on them.
We'll have to moving forward, because the comics, like I said, really do end up becoming the primary storytelling method.
They're not primary. Like, they were maybe the chosen method to distribute to the masses.
Yeah.
But that, like, the details, the lore, all the extra bits is still in the book. So it's like, if you want the overview, if you want the quick method, read the comics.
Which, by the way, just another reminder and a plug, all of the comics and the books are all available on BioMedia
Project.
So check them out if you want. They're all there.
They're phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
I was just wondering, is it a plug if you gain nothing from it? It's not.
I didn't say it was a self-plug.
No. I didn't say
it's like when you plug something into a wall socket. That's a plug. What am I doing?
There's something severely wrong with you.
I think that's a good place to end. We are going to unplug now and turn this off.
Good night, Metro Nui.